Hey you guys, this is Haley with the Catawba Riverkeeper Foundation. So welcome back to another week of story time. So we are going to use or read this week another book from Suzanne Tate. So she is a nature writer who has a whole array, all kinds of stories that are all about local animals. So she has animals that are coastal, she has river animals, she has birds, and this week we're going to read one called Oopsie Otter. So Oopsie Otter is a river otter. The reason why I picked this book is because we love river otters at the Catawba Riverkeeper. They are really playful and fun, and they are really cool to see whenever you get to see them in a creek or in the river. And we do have them around here, which makes it that much cooler. So we at the Riverkeeper, at the Catawba Riverkeeper, what we try to do is make sure that the water in the Catawba River is drinkable, swimmable, and fishable. And if it's all of those things, it means that it's really clean, and there's enough of it, and that we'll be able to have plentiful, clean drinking water for generations to come. So I am going to ask you guys, everyone watching, if you're watching with your parents or with your family or your friends, on the count of three, I'm going to have everybody tell me your name. So ready? 1, 2, 3. Wonderful. It's great to meet all of you. I'm Haley, and our story today again is Oopsie Otter, a tale of playful otters. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Oopsie Otter. All right. Okay, y'all ready? Oopsie Otter was a young river otter. Her home was in an underground den beside the waters of Green Island. I wonder why it's green. All right, so that's our first page. And before we keep going, now you know who it's about. We're going to walk through the pages and just kind of try and make a guess on what's going to happen. Okay, so Oopsie Otter lives in a den on an island. What else? Okay, so there's the den, there's the otter. Okay, eating a fish. Awesome, awesome. Swimming around. There's more than one. Okay, cool. Loving the swimming. They're sliding down. That looks like fun. Splash. All right. Do we see any other animals in this book? So there's otters. Those look like baby otters, maybe? Okay. There's lots of otters. Oh, I see frogs. Okay, there's another frog. Oh, and what is that? Oh my gosh, that looks like something out of the Lion King. Okay, well, we're going to find out. So, Oopsie Otter lives in a den on Green Island. There we go. All right. So it says, Oopsie was playful as can be. Like the young otters, she chased anything that moved, and she loved to play on the muddy slide beside her den. Okay, so Oopsie Otter is a lady. We know that. She's a girl otter. All right. Her fur was made of long, stiff hairs that were coated in oil. The oil kept water away from her body. Okay, cool. When Oopsie was swimming, she closed her ears and her nostrils tightly. Yeah, you don't want to get water up there. And then the water couldn't get in them. That's really cool that she can close her ears. Oopsie could swim fast. She had webbed feet that were like paddles, and she could swim underwater a long ways before coming up for air. She learned how to hunt by watching her mother. Oopsie's mother was a very good hunter. Watch how I chase and corner a fish, she said to Oopsie, and then she grabbed the fish in her sharp teeth and powerful jaws. All right. Come, let's eat here, her mother said. She climbed out of the water onto the dry land. Oopsie followed her. Thank you, Mama, for catching my favorite food, Oopsie chirped. Oopsie's mother shared the fish with her, and the otter held the food with her front paws like they were little hands. All right. Oopsie felt good after a good fish dinner, but she didn't want to hunt anymore. Oopsie wanted to play the rest of the day. Where is Oddie today, she wondered. Oopsie Otter was her favorite playmate. It was a young male that lived in a nearby den. He looked quite different from Oopsie. Oh, really? His coat was yellow. He was a blonde otter. I've never seen a blonde otter. Very interesting. Oopsie saw a splash in the water. Oh, there you are, Oopsie squealed as she spied Ottie's blonde head. Let's play a game, Oopsie said. She loved to Oopsie-dopsy, slip and play on the muddy slide all day long. It's fun to Oopsie-dopsy with you, Oddie chirped. Oddie and Oopsie began to slip and slide on the muddy slide. The two young otters went splash in the water again and again and again. The day was almost gone when Oopsie's mother called to them both. Come home now, she squealed. The wind is blowing from the northwest, and I fear that black tide will come in soon. Black tide? What is black tide? Huh. Oddie asked. That's when Green Island is covered with water. The tide brings muddy water into our homes, Oopsie said. We'd better listen to your mother, said Oddie. But Oopsie chirped, I'm tired of hearing Otter do this, Otter do that. I want to keep on playing. The young otter slipped and played some more, but the northwest wind blew harder and harder. Muddy water moved onto Green Island, and Oopsie and Oddie couldn't find their way home. Oh my gosh, they've gotten lost. Okay. They knew that I knew we should have listened to your mother, said Oddie. But just then, Oopsie and Oddie heard a lot of squeaking and chirping. They swam toward the chirps and found Oopsie's mother. Her mother had found a safe island. Come up here with me, she called, and we will wait out the black tide together. The otters huddled together as the night fell. At last, the northwest wind quieted down. So that's where they waited out the storm on an island that wasn't flooded with water. When it was morning, the black tide had gone away, and Oopsie and Oddie were hungry. So Oopsie asked, May we hunt on land? Yes, said her mother. But don't go too far. Large animals can hurt you there. Oopsie and Oddie hopped out of the water, and let's look for snails, Oopsie said. They're easy to find. The young otters poked around in the grass until they found a lot of snails. A big frog hopped by and surprised them. Let's catch that frog, Oddie said. It would be a better meal than just these snails. Oopsie and Oddie ran fast, but that frog hopped away and hid in some bushes. All right, suddenly a wild boar jumped out at them. Okay, so that's what that crazy looking thing is. It's a wild boar. He kind of looks like something from like a warthog. That's his name, a warthog. But it's not. Well, kind of. It's a wild boar. He had a big head and ears and two big tusks. Snort, snort. He was mad. His hair was bristly and stood up tall on his back. Let's head for the water and swim fast, Oopsie squealed. The young otters jumped in the water, and they swam toward home as fast as they could. Soon, they found Oopsie's mother and told her the scary tale. I'm glad you're safe, said her mother, but now you know you oughter listen to your mother. And Oopsie knew at last that she was right. So this wild boar, we actually do have these. We do have wild boars. So very interesting. Like I said, this is a really great book. It's a great nature series. There are stories all about, if you're on the coast, they're about sharks. They have some alligator ones, which is away from the coast. They have sea stars. They have rays, scallops, even seagulls, horseshoe crabs. But the ones that we have read from this nature series are going to be Oopsie Otter. We read that one. We also read Timmy T. Frog, and we also read Mary Lee Monarch. So there's the ones that we have read. Pretty cool. And I'm just going to read to you the front page of this. Has a couple more facts about river otters. So I'm just going to read to you. This is written by Suzanne Tate. She said, I enjoy watching playful river otters in the pond behind my house. They are always on the move, dipping and diving into the water. Otters spend more of their time swimming and feeding. Though they spend most of their time swimming and feeding. They crush and grind their food in their strong teeth and cheek muscles. And their favorite food is actually fish, but they can also eat things like crayfish or crabs, and on the coast, mollusks. So mollusks are like mussels and oysters. They eat frogs and other small animals. An excellent sense of smell and a good, keen eyesight help them catch prey. An otter is well adapted for life in the water. It has a special muscle that closes its eyes and its ears and its nostrils tightly so water can't get in. But it has webbed feet and a large tail to help them swim for a long time. And they have very, very coarse guard hairs to keep its body dry. So there are two types of hairs. They have hair to keep them warm, but then they have guard hairs which protect them from all kinds of things. And like they said, like we learned about in this book, they also have oil. They have oiled skin, so the water just slips right off of them. So if you imagine putting Vaseline on your hands or chapstick, how they feel really oily. All right, so over 90% of river otters are born with brown fur. The blonde otter that I have included in Oopsie Otter represents a very rare color phase that is found in nature. In doing some research for this book, I was interested to read that otters like to play, specifically on slides, an activity that I generally thought was good for training the young. Some scientists, however, believe that otter slip and slide is not training, it's just for fun. The information led me to write Oopsie Doopsie, how they have a fun slide game. I know that children will have fun too, reading about playful otters. All right, very good. So thank y'all so much for coming and reading Oopsie Otter, A Tale of Playful Otters. If you have any questions, please let us know. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your week.